David, thanks for doing this. It's brilliant.
Pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about just who you are and what you do?
Okay, so I'm Dave Lovatt, and my business is Tactless Confidential, and we're Cardiff's first, I guess, independent confidential shredding company.
Brilliant.
Based down in East Tyndall Street.
First and the best.
First and the best.
Yeah.
So the idea behind it was to offer businesses in sort of Cardiff and South Wales a better alternative to the what's on offer from the big national companies who sort of dominate the market.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you just tell me a little bit about when we met and when you decided then to get in touch at a later date and for what reason?
Sure. So I think we met at a networking event, as far as I remember. We had a brief chat,
wasn't it? Yeah.
And you gave me a copy of your book.
Okay.
And then I'd reached a point in this business where it's a bit difficult to describe exactly the feeling, but everything was going okay. And I've run other businesses in the past which have been moderately successful, and the last one I ran owned, I managed to sell, so I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
And yet I always felt there was something more that I could be achieving, and I got this nagging feeling that now I'd got to this level of development with Tactless Confidential, was that going to get in the way of my success with this?
Right. So the previous, the feeling that you had. Yeah, okay.
Yes, it was something I couldn't really put my finger on, but just one, And having read parts of your book anyway about this sort of idea of being stuck, the power of the subconscious and so forth, I thought it would be a good investment to sort of come to you and discuss the breakthrough.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I guess I call myself a chief unsticker. I think that's what you saw on LinkedIn, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
That's me. Okay, so we did a breakthrough with you, so that was a 6 months, but most of the work being done over the first couple of days, really.
Yeah.
So how did you find the actual process?
It took an awful lot of energy, and so it's quite draining, and at the same time it's quite energising as well.
What sort of results have you...
Well, the biggest thing, I guess, for me is because throughout my life I've been aware of the power of the subconscious to affect and even direct and create sort of the reality for the conscious mind. And I'd always viewed that as a fight, in that the subconscious was there trying to stop me achieving. It was trying to keep me in a sort of safe survival state rather than move into the unknown, however desirable that might be on a conscious level.
So was that what's happening really, is that your unconscious mind was keeping you safe and you weren't moving forward?
That was my suspicion,
and
I guess the sort of the unsticking part was to try to, I thought I might be ending up with strategies in order to defeat the subconscious mind, whereas in fact what we got out of it was it's a process of aligning the subconscious, so you actually get the power of that on side with you, so that helps to achieve the goals rather than something that you bypass.
It's not like putting your unconscious mind in the corner and saying be good. It's sort of like getting it on board, isn't it, really?
Yes.
Really powerful. So from a business perspective, what's happened since?
Well, the turnover's started to tick up quite nicely, and it's really sort of a feeling that it's not that if I do this, then that might or that should. It's more of it will.
Okay, so it's giving you sort of certainty and a clarity.
Confidence. Yeah.
And we set some goals as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So how are you getting on towards your goals now?
Well, I think that was a really important part of the process, in that having gone from some quite long distance, quite big goals, to then come back down the timeline to milestones on the way to them, and then even sort of smaller, sort of 4 to 6 week stepping stones towards those milestones. that I think that reinforces for the subconscious that that's actually happened now. So that again helps create the reality and the certainty that the long-term goals will be achieved.
I think it's a bit like flying a plane. If you've got the destination, that's fine. You know what steps to take.
Yeah.
But if you don't know whether you're going to land at there or there or there, then the steps get a little bit less clear, and it's sort of like working with that end in mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So, from an emotional perspective, has there been any change for you?
I think immediately afterwards there was, it's quite a sort of euphoric step. There was one or two sort of issues that were, I guess, more manifest than not just business ones, which were put away, as it were, as a part of that process immediately, which was really
it's been a lot more comfortable
impressive.
For you in those areas now, hasn't it?
And yes, I guess the long-term goals, sort of emotionally, I'm less at the effect of my emotions, less, if something annoys me, then, I mean, you still get annoyed, you still get angry, you still get irritated by people not doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But then
it's appropriate.
You kind of move on from that a lot quicker than maybe in the past. You'd better spend energy sort of being irritated rather than thinking, oh, well, that is, what are we actually going to do with it?
Yeah. Okay, so what's sort of next for you?
Well, we're on the path towards the business becoming, I guess, a sort of more significant. So I want it to be the name that people think of when they think of confidential shredding if they're in South Wales. And I've just taken somebody on who'd been unemployed for some time. It's giving people who maybe deserve an opportunity, being able to give them that opportunity.
Yeah, lovely.
And being able to offer businesses of South Wales a really good service at a reasonable, decent price.
Okie doke, lovely. What would you say if you came across someone in business that was feeling stuck?
Well, I'd say that they had a very powerful effect on me, and that I guess that first question would be: have you been at this point before, and have you sort of tried again? You got to a certain point, maybe take a step, then started another project and got to that same point of feeling stuck. Well, if that's the case, then there's something there that can be unstuck. And Bridget's
contact
the
the
one
unsticker.
Yes, yeah.